leaving Chiang Mai on our way to Laos for a visa run, and we are on our first double-decker bus. So hopefully everything goes smoothly, and hopefully our paperwork is all approved. All right, talk to you later. Hello. So, as many of you know, we traveled to Laos to apply for a different type of visa, and while we're here we have to stay in another guest house. So if you watched our last video, you know that we make coffee and we tried to save a little bit of money by making our own food. So here is our dinner for this evening. It's hard to tell, but in there are cherry tomatoes. We have mango, our little burner. Here we have porridge with fish. I thought it was chicken, but some sort of fish. And then the meat in there is beef and lettuce, some cucumber, some cooked lettuce, and then also it's sort of hard to see there, but that's my soup. It's noodles with beef and lettuce. So cheap and easy. Not the healthiest because it's full of sodium, but I mean, obviously the mango and the vegetables are good, but just like most or many Asian cuisines, just chocked full of sodium. But anyway, there is our dinner for this evening. So here we are in Laos, still working on getting our visas for the foundation. Yesterday we waited for, it was probably about 6 hours at the Thai embassy. You have to have an appointment before you go in, and then you're given a queue number. We were right towards the end because they only allow so many a day. We were even though we weren't the last ones, we ended up being the very last ones to be seen. So we ended up going up to the window, and the guy looked at our paperwork for all of a couple, probably 5 minutes, and said, "Nope, you're missing paperwork," or "This one is still valid, but it's due to expire soon." So we ended up, not, basically being sent away and told to get the paperwork and come back. Well, we can't travel all the way to Chiang Mai to get the paperwork, and anyway, luckily, thankfully, we were able to do a lot of it by email. We were able to get one of the documents today, and just out of, I guess, pure stubbornness, I guess, and hope. We found a little playground that she's playing on. So let her burn off some steam. Check out these swings, made out of rebar and other metal. So anyway, we went back today, and the fellow that I dealt with was really nice. And at first he said the exact same thing, and then he looked at the paperwork. He said, "Wait, you're volunteer?" I said, "Yeah, we're volunteer. We'll be volunteer." He says, "No salary." I said, "No salary." He says, "All right, I'll see what I can do for you." So he started processing our applications, and now, as long as we get that one other document in tomorrow, we should be all set, and that means we can re-enter Thailand and start the process towards a work visa as a volunteer. So please continue praying. It was really frustrating and trying yesterday, and even last night as we were sort of left in limbo. We have faith that God will open the doors that he needs opened in order for us to do it. But we feel this calling, but God can always change the direction. He knows where he wants you, and it's always the perfect place. So it can sometimes disappoint us, but anyway, that's where we're at, and we're trusting in him. We're thanking everyone for their prayers, for their support. It's been a long journey to Laos. It's like a 10-hour bus ride, and then a couple more hours by car in a border border crossing and whatnot. So anyways, thank you. Please keep praying for us. Pray that we're given favor, that everything goes well tomorrow, and thank you. And have fun. Bye-bye, Pomo. Good evening. Here is the view from our guest house in the capital city of Laos. This is our last night, and you can't see it in the camera, but there is a lot of smoke, and it smells like chicken. So it smells like barbecue, and it's making me hungry, even though I just ate. Thank you everyone for your prayers and support. We were able to successfully get our visas, our different visa today, so now we can move forward with getting a work permit for the foundation. It's been an interesting trip. I think if I was here alone or with just a friend, I might enjoy it a little bit more, but it's a little bit stressful when you're with a family. We had a lot of little things come up that just made things more stressful just on top of the visa situation. We had 2 cabbies that had been friends at one point, but then while we were here, one of them thought the other stole from him, so they became hostile towards each other, and we were sort of the middleman in that. It didn't involve us at all, but they both would show up at the hotel trying to take us places, and it added a lot more problems. The guest house wasn't really that nice, and the owners, one of them was really cool, a French fella, but his girlfriend, who is the other owner, and her family were just not very pleasant to interact with. Not only for us. There you go, long way up the one-way street. But they actually almost got in a fist fight with some like 60 or 70-year-old French guy in the lobby today over something, and people just came pouring out of the woodwork to get involved. So it was, everyone's getting ready to throw down, and I'm sort of hustling my family into a back corner so they don't get caught up in the middle of it. But they didn't seem to, the owners didn't seem to think twice about it. But anyway, yeah, it's, I've got to say, I know the whole city's not like this, but I haven't been overly impressed so far. But we have been blessed, and we plan on heading back tomorrow to Chiang Mai. So it'll be nice to be back there. I really wish we had gotten a chance to go outside the city a little bit more, or even check out other areas of the city, but we didn't. Because I think Laos is a beautiful country, and I think there are some awesome areas. It's just the general area we were in and the people we were interacting with, I wasn't overly impressed. But anyway, to each their own. So anyway, yeah. It is a beautiful developing city in a lot of areas. And there are a lot of countries that sink a lot of money into it. China, the US, Russia. Actually, if you look around, you can't see them where we're at now because everyone's sort of taking them down for the night, I think. But the Soviet flag is flying next to the Laos flag everywhere. I mean, literally, if there's a Laos flag, there's a Soviet flag, the old sickle and hammer, right next to it. But yeah. So anyway, I definitely don't want anyone to think I'm complaining. Like I said, it was stressful. We were trying to get all of this done with immigration, and no one case is the same. you know, the folks who came before us had to have all of this paperwork in line, and we had the paperwork in line, but then they requested different paperwork, and they didn't take the same paperwork that they had requested from this other family. So it's just, you know, clear as mud. So for those of you that we sent an email out to, and those of you who prayed for us, thank you. And all right, we'll try to shoot another video before we close this one out. Take care. Bye now. Just another side note I thought of after shooting that last footage. Something else I found interesting, I've seen it other places as well, but I was sort of surprised to see it here, is the money. So in Laos you have kip, which is their currency, but people don't, like, there's so little value in it that people don't want it. You go into a shop or something and you pay in kip and you sort of get an eye roll. You know, they all want usually Thai baht, on occasion US dollars. But like I went into a supermarket tonight to grab a few things for the trip back, and you know, once you get out of Laos, the kip is absolutely useless, and the exchange rate is, you know, not worth anything. So we've been careful about how much kip we have. However, if you use Thai baht for anything, you don't get Thai baht in return for change. You only get kip. So, you know, we only brought so much Thai baht with us, and we planned fairly well. But, you know, still we're just being careful about how much Thai baht we use, because if I give 1,000 Thai baht to a shop, which is equivalent to about 36 US dollars, 36 and some change, they're going to give me a handful of kip back. And then once I leave Laos, it's pretty much useless. But anyway, I had a few US dollars on me, and I was in a shop, and you know, they accepted US dollars, and I said, okay, great. Because I had bought a handful of groceries, and it was going to be like $5, $4 and some change. And I took it out, and they're like, no, it has to be brand new American bills. Like, it can't even be folded. I'm like, well, good luck with that. But yeah, it's just really interesting, because everyone I speak to, you know, they're like, they give you their price in baht, which sort of makes sense because you're not too far from the border. But, you know, then when you say, oh, well, I have kip, it's like, it almost looks like you've insulted them, or it's a inconvenience for them to accept it. It is a different type of money. I haven't quite gotten used to it. There was one fella I was talking to, and you know, one of the cabbies, and I was getting ready to pay him, and I asked him, well, you know, here's 50,000 kip, which really doesn't equal a whole lot. And he's like, oh, well, no, now that's worth 70,000. I thought, okay. But so anyway, that's just sort of a side note. I found that pretty interesting. But all right, well, it's lights out for us. We're gonna have to get up, not wicked early, but pretty early, pack things up, sort of redistribute the loads, because we're gonna take a van to the border, but then we have to carry all of our bags across the border. And carrying bags for 4 people, you know, I have one duffel and one backpack for myself and all of our paperwork and documents, and then we have a big, like a large duffel full of the kids' stuff and Lurie Moose stuff, and then a couple more backpacks and a rolling suitcase. So we didn't travel too light, but it's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt to have to walk through the borders and drag all of that stuff with us, while, you know, holding a baby and towing a 3-year-old along as well. So anyway, we'll get up and get going tomorrow morning, and again, thank you. We'll talk to you all soon.